2023 takes off on sound footing. Appropriation bill now a legal instrument.
The amended fiscal framework for 2023, as approved by the National Assembly, shows additional revenues.
Return journey on second Niger Bridge now in seconds. Enthuses motorists.
It just reduces your travel time, the stress and everything. Commendations to the government of the day.
Gas campaigns heighten as February 25th approaches.
What is the weight of Nigeria that you are carrying?
Hello and welcome to NTA Network News at 9. I'm Ian Ray John and we're live in Abuja. Adiola Komiakere joins me from Lagos. Thank you for joining us. And here's a quick reminder that you can follow this news live on our website, nta.ng/live, NTA News Now, and other social media platforms displayed on the screen for updates. President Muhammadu Buhari says as his administration draws to a close, efforts will be intensified towards accelerating the implementation of critical measures aimed at further improving the Nigerian business environment, enhancing the welfare of the people, and ensuring sustainable economic growth. This was while signing into law the 2023 Appropriation Bill and the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Bill, recently passed by the National Assembly. State House correspondent Adam Musambo has the details.
Flanked by the presiding officers and relevant committee chairman of the National Assembly, as well as key members of the executive, President Muhammadu Buhari formally approves the implementation of the 21.83 trillion naira 2023 budget, as well as the 2022 supplementary budget. While the 2023 budget is to promote fiscal sustainability, macroeconomic stability, and ensure smooth transition to the incoming administration, the supplementary budget is principally to enable the government respond to the devastating effect of the recent nationwide flooding on the nation's infrastructure and agricultural sectors.
The amended fiscal framework for 2023, as approved by the National Assembly, shows additional revenues of 765.79 billion naira and an unfunded deficit of 553.46 billion naira. I have also noted that the National Assembly introduced new projects into the 2023 budget proposal, for which it has appropriated 770.72 billion naira. The National Assembly also increased the provisions made by ministries, departments and agencies by 58.55 billion naira.
While directing the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning to engage the legislature with a view to revisiting some of the changes made to the executive budget proposal, the President also urged the National Assembly to reconsider its position on the proposal to securitize the federal government's outstanding ways and means balance at the Central Bank of Nigeria. The balance, he explained, has accumulated over several years and represents funding provided by the Central Bank of Nigeria as lender of last resort to government to enable it meet its obligations to lenders as well as cover budgetary shortfalls.
I have no intention to fetter the right of the National Assembly to interrogate the composition of this balance, which can still be done even after granting the requested approval. Failure to grant the securitization approval will, however, cost the government about 1.8 trillion naira in additional interest in 2023.
Thus, notwithstanding, President Buhari said the 2023 capital votes will be released early to enable ministries, departments and agencies to commence the implementation of their capital projects in support of efforts at delivering key projects and public services, as well as improving the living conditions of Nigerians.
Let me conclude by expressing my deep appreciation to Almighty God for His grace and commend the continued resilience, understanding, and sacrifice of our people in the face of current economic challenges.
Both chambers will ensure that we get revenues, we find more sources, better sources, stabilize the sources, and of course look into some of the legislations and some of the waivers and concessions granted to see whether or not they deserve to continue to be implemented in the way and manner they were approved, or we need to reverse them because we need money in our country. But that is not to say that we should raise taxes that will be out of the roof as to cause problem for our citizens.
The problem with the National Assembly is that you can't win to lose. If you return the budget the exact way it is, you're called rubber stamp. If you do what you're supposed to do and adjust figures for the good of the country, you call it jacking up. Executive did everything they could, and we have even a wider view, a bird's eye view of what's going on in all the agencies, and we have also complemented what the executive has done. It's all for the good of the country.
However, the Finance Bill 2022, which is critical to the effective implementation of the 2023 budget and the attainment of the various set objectives, is yet to be assented to, as some of the changes made by the National Assembly, President Buhari said, need to be reviewed by the relevant agencies of government. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the signing into law of the 2023 appropriation bill comes with a lot of expectations for many Nigerians, as they spoke to NTA.
There will be no excuse for offices to say that budget have not been signed. Budget have not been signed. Now that it has been signed, we wish that this thing will work, will go down. We will go down to the grassroots level so that everybody, myself, business people, non-business people will enjoy it. As I said, kudos to the president, kudos to Nigeria.
We call it national budget, so it's not only for civil servants. It should be all encompassing. Even Mama, Baba Michai and all this, they should also feel the impact that, a budget has been signed on their behalf, and it should go down well to letting them also have a feel.
We have signed the budget into law. I want to believe strongly that if it is well implemented, it will better the lots of the citizens of this country.
And I have joining me now via Zoom, Professor Ken Ife. He's a professor of economics. Many thanks for joining us, Prof.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right, the 2023 budget of 1.83 trillion naira is now ready for implementation. The president has signed it, and of course, talking about the supplementary budget of 2022. What do you make of this? What do you think the impact will be at the end of all this?
Very challenging times, and of course, the budget reflects the reality of the time. There are four balls in the air until the president signed. You have the delayed passage of the 23 trillion ways and means overdraft. I'm sure that they will come back to it, and it will be good if they do pass that. You have the Finance Act, which is the sweetener. I love that one. And then you have the supplementary budget of 819 billion that had to come handy and delivered about 86% of it to infrastructure. Then, of course, agriculture got a lion's share as well because of the flood. And then you now have the actual budget itself, which has some challenges around the assumptions, but at least on balance, it has more to deliver than the weaknesses that could be associated with some of the assumptions.
All right, Prof. At a glance, the National Assembly raised the spending plan, driving the deficit higher. How would that impact on the budget?
Well, the thing is this: they decided to jack up the rates. That is the price of the crude from $70 to $75, and then also based on the 1.69 million barrels per day. So that threw out 1.3 trillion extra money that they had to now apply to. A lot of it went to National Planning Commission, Population Planning Commission, and then also the INEC took about 173 billion of that, and some of the others like defense got money health got some money. But that notwithstanding, we still had a lot more money go to works, which means works is actually the biggest beneficiary with over 1.1 trillion in both the budget and also in supplementary act. What I would say is that, let us pray. The prices of cruise are reasonably high now, so we could get away with the price differential. But the real devil in the detail is, are we going to maintain this production volume? That's the problem. There were times when we could go to as high as 2.1 million barrels a day, but at 1.69 barrels, don't forget that last year we were largely under 1 million barrels. So if we have the cooperation of the militants and we have a higher value, then it will not be as bad as many people might think. But I think there are chances that we could get away with it.
Okay, getting away with it. Another issue will be global recession. The IMF came up with some statistics some days ago. How do you think Nigeria's economy will fare with this budget?
No, the economy, it will be a neutral. The impact will be neutral because we will still return a positive growth. This quarter now that ended is going to be a reasonably high growth rate. So that will average out. And the 3.7% the 3.75 that is envisaged by the government is actually doable, but you only have to account for that until when you get down to December next year. This year, that's when you now average out. So we might average out around that 3% or 3.5%. So that's not bad. The one that I was struggling with is the inflation forecast. But I don't see how it could go down significantly to the level of 17.16 when it is right now at nearly 22%. But other than that, there are very, very healthy items there. For example, you have a very nice, decent budget for development funding. The capital development fund is very, very healthy at 5.9 trillion. But the other challenge is that the personnel cost at 5 trillion is actually quite high. We have a very high cost of governance there.
All right,
so
Prof.
There are a lot of positive, a lot more positive things on the budget.
Okay, Prof, thank you so much. I can see that you're a bit optimistic, and of course you're mentioning the challenges also. But of course, the big elephant in the room talking about fuel subsidy would end by the mid of next year. Do you think that would be right at the mid of this year, 2023, of course, we're already in 2023. Would that be the magic wand to shore up the revenue and reduce deficits? Prof? Subsidy regime will end by the mid of this year, 2023. Do you think that would help us shore up the revenue?
Yeah, I was telling you that the sweetener in the budget is actually the Finance Act, because the Finance Act is really brilliant because it's gone out to consolidate the strategic revenue growth initiative by heading out to get more money from digital assets, which are now going to attract a capital gains tax of about 10%. They went for gaming, gambling, lottery. They're all going to be taxing them, and then they're increasing the tax on gas flaring from 30 to 50%. They've gone out to VAT remittance to telecommunication companies to help in that. So that is going to get a lot more money for government. And there's also an import levy that is long overdue. Since 2017, we would have had this import levy, because there's no point central bank or removing 43 items from eligibility, and we don't have a fiscal response, raising the tax on those. So the levy is very, very good, and we should have more levy on more items, and much, much higher than 0.5%.
All right, many thanks, Professor Ken Ife, for your insights. And of course, yes, Nigerians are looking forward to the end of the subsidy regime and the impact of the budget on every Nigerian. Once again, many thanks, Prof, for joining us on the Network News at 9.
Thank you very much.
All right, time for a break. Please stay with us.
The Executive Governor of Kano State and leader of the All Progressives Congress, APC in the state, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduji, OFR, cordially invites and welcomes the APC presidential candidate, Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his running mate, Kashim Shettima, the APC National Chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, all APC governors of the Northwest, all members of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, amongst other stakeholders, to the formal flag-off of the APC presidential rally in Kano State. The big event is scheduled to take place on 4th of January 2023 at Sana Abuja Stadium, Oparmata, Kano at 10 a.m. prompt. You are all welcome. Announcer, Kano State APC Chairman, Abdullahi Abbas.
Hey guys, today I'll be talking about something really interesting. I'll be giving you tips on how to survive in this Sapa economy. Hey guys, so I'm back. Guess what? If you run out of airtime or data, dial the 777# on your Glow line to borrow and pay back later. Easy. Today I'll turn up the sleep.
Glow Unlimited.
It's a new dawn for Nigeria. Oh, better days are coming. Better days that gives us hope and strength. Oh, Latino boys determined to keep this hope alive, bringing the smiles back to all Nigerians.
It's a new dawn in Nigeria. Renewed hope beckons on our people. The silver lining dots the skies. The firmament portents a bright future as the people of Nigeria move to vote a man whom they have come to trust for the realization of their aspirations for a better Nigeria. That man is Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. He has been tested. He can be trusted. Vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as President of Nigeria 2023. Vote Kashim Shettima as Vice President. Vote APC. Surely with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the smiles are returning. We are close to home.
Bring the smiles back to all Nigerians.
We are committed to the unity of our great country, Nigeria. Let us support our armed forces. Let us stand together with them. Let us stand for them. Our symbol of unity, the gallant men and women of the armed forces on land, air, and sea, who have continuously put their life on the line, protecting our lives, humanity, and nation.
Let us join them and stick together as one, irrespective of our misunderstanding, be it political, cultural, or ideological.
Our uniqueness is our oneness, our strength
in our diversity.
Let us stand by, stand with, and support our armed forces to keep this nation together.
Nigeria is my own. Nigeria is your own. Nigeria is our own.
The Tertiary Education Trust Fund is pleased to inform its stakeholders and the general public of the public presentation of another set of 50 books written by Nigerian scholars and published under the sponsorship of the Fund's Higher Education Book Development Project. This is a remarkable milestone in TED Fund's Higher Education Book Development Intervention, targeted at essentially addressing the crisis or paucity of reading and learning materials. The event is scheduled to hold as follows. Date, Thursday 5th, January 2023. Venue, 2nd floor, Conference Hall, the Federal Ministry of Education, Abuja. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. Announcer, Acting Director, Public Affairs, Abdulmumin Onyegi, for the Executive Secretary.
My people, my name is Emeka. Mekus Kamat. Let me get all this people. I don't learn my lesson. Somebody come buy motor for my hand, carry big money, come give me. Now when the gate bust, then my eye open. I don't know so that 419 be. Now when EFCC bam, then they come back me too. Now he make me they warn you. All of them when they do business like me, where they carry big money, well I go sometimes I go carry transfer, carry bring back. Yeah. They could shine in my eye because the special control unit against money laundering, when they call SCUMO, they don't want to say if the money pass 5 million naira for individual, no collect them. If it pass 10 million naira for company, no collect them. Can I go where? Bank. If you not do them like that, 250,000 naira for every day where this offense happen. Or they go suspend your license, or they go cuckoo, shut them down, pata for your hand. No talk say, I know one you.
This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
Thank you for staying. Nigeria has promised to support the Republic of Burundi in critical areas of need in furtherance of African solidarity and brotherliness. President Muhammadu Buhari gave the assurance while receiving the special envoy of the President of Burundi. State House correspondent Adam Musambo has the details.
Although details of the Burundian leader's message were not disclosed, his special envoy and Minister of Finance, Budget and Economic Planning, Odase Nyonzima, says his president sent goodwill for the new year to Nigerians and President Muhammadu Buhari. Burundi, he also says, wishes Nigeria well in the forthcoming general elections scheduled for February and March this year. As the envoy puts it, we pray that the polls would be peaceful and successful so that Nigeria would maintain her reputation as a bastion of peace and stability. On the request for assistance in the area of energy provision, particularly fueled by the Burundian leader, President Buhari says he knows what it feels like for a country to suffer from energy shortage. He therefore promised that he would get the NNPC Limited to look into the request. President Buhari maintains that he is looking forward to the polls and indeed retirement, having satisfied the constitutional requirement for 2 terms in office. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
The end is now in sight for the protracted challenges of security in Imo State as President Muhammadu Buhari approves the deployment of more sophisticated security devices to once and for all contain the situation. Governor Hope Uzodinma announced this while briefing journalists after an audience with the president. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo again has the details.
People are enthusiastic and committed Nigerians. We believe in the unity of the country, and we believe that for us to grow as a people, we need the support and cooperation of federal government.
Governor Hope Uzodinma was in the State House to brief President Muhammadu Buhari on the security situation in the Eastern Heartland and plans by his administration to introduce far-reaching measures in the fight against crime and criminality.
Every day I come to Mr. President, one positive approval or the other. Any moment from now, we will be getting some technological deployment, surveillance equipments, and some modern technologies to be able to do an advanced kind of security control in the southeast that will help us manage security so that we can fight crime with little or no collateral damage to the environment.
The governor also used the opportunity to express appreciation to the president for enhancing the presence of the federal government in Imo State and the entire southeast sub-region.
Only 2 weeks ago, Igbos that came home from Lagos and outside southeast enjoyed the benefits of the second Niger Bridge, something that is worthy of commendation. In Imo State, for instance, you see that we got the approval of Mr. President that is now enabling the Imo State government to partnering with the Nigerian Navy to dredge Oguta to Orashi River to the sea. That is opening up that maritime route. Then if there is a naval base that will now manage and control pipeline vandalism, crude oil theft, and all forms of criminality that has besieged that area for a very long time. And the crime has gone down tremendously since the naval base was established. So I think that we have hope for a better Nigeria. The road that we just completed with Mr. President Commission, the Owerri to Olu, dualized the express road. The president has approved that Imo State government be refunded. And the good news, we have never had this so well. So, and that is why I continue to tell you people that the party to beat in my state is APC.
Governor Hope Uzodinma expressed optimism that 2023 will be a year of peace and prosperity for Imo State. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
And away from the State House now, the River State government has flagged off the construction of Ungwodohia Road. Ogedi Nyokere reports.
Joy was visible on the faces of the locals who came out in their number to welcome the governor for giving them a sense of belonging as Rivers people and understanding the imperative of a good road network to the community. Odidio Island community are people of Ahoda West extraction, but living among the Itu and Akbabo people, they have never seen any government presence and no roads. Island can only be accessed through the river. This challenging terrain makes it difficult to attract development to the area. However, all that is about to change with the governor's development train touching down at the community. Governor Wike says he did not know that such an island existed in the state until it was brought to his attention by the Emohua Council chairman. The governor says the flag off of the Itu Odidio Road is a great example of a people-oriented project. He expressed the hope that constructing a road to the community will not only make life more meaningful to the people, but will redefine their socio-economic landscape.
No access road from here. Now that there's access road from the other side. So the only access road you have is through the water. And I'm hearing there are people who migrate down to this area. And nobody, has ever talked about them. And how would they know there's a government? The only way people know about government if they feel the presence of government.
Itu Odidio Road is a virgin road leading to the island of Odidio and will be completed in 2 months. In Emohua, Oge Dinyekwere, NTA News.
Meanwhile, free flow of traffic with corresponding happy faces of motorists and passengers are some feelers which emerged following the temporary opening of the second Niger Bridge at midnight, Monday, January 2nd, 2023. Senior Okoli, who has been monitoring the situation, observed that road safety officials are also on ground to ensure orderliness.
Relief and joy clearly registering on the faces of travelers as NTA arrived to monitor the flow of traffic around that axis.
I did use it while I was going to the east. Now I'm going back to Lagos. It just reduces your travel time, the stress and everything. Commendations to the government of the day, timing. Whenever we are coming home, it's about 2-3 hours to be wasted at Abuja, but that has been cut off. So means a lot to every traveler on these roads.
I'm happy because I'm from village now, heading to Asaba. I'm entering second Niger Bridge. That's good.
There was a heavy security presence at the bridge as various safety personnel were seen patrolling to ensure safety of lives and property and also to ensure that drivers plying the bridge adhere to traffic rules. Director, Highways, Bridge and Design in the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, Engineer Oluropo Oyetade, who supervised the installation of some road furnitures and signs, pointed out that the move is to ensure free flow of traffic and to make the roads easily navigable and safer.
The signposts which were installed yesterday, and we are still doing some amendment too, they are to direct the traffic appropriately. Because where we are now, the traffic going by the left are to move to Obosi and to Onitsha, while those going to Asaba, Benin, Lagos axis are going by the right. So those signs are very important, and it started from the entrance of the quadrant over there.
The opening of the bridge will last till January 15 to enable contractors put finishing touches before the inauguration of the project. In Asaba, Chinyere Okoli, NTA News.
Let's now talk politics. The presidential candidate of the APC, Bola Tinubu, says his administration, if given the mandate, will prioritize food security and job creation. He was speaking in Kano during a meeting with a cross-section of Islamic scholars from the Northwest geopolitical zone. Abdullahi Mustafa has the report.
The meeting with clerics by the APC presidential candidate is part of his pre-campaign stakeholder engagements in Kano. It is an opportunity to interface with relevant stakeholders to brief them about his plans and vision for Nigeria.
This campaign, this election, is about our collective march to a better Nigeria. We must march forward. We must not lose the sight of the road.
Enhancing food security and job creation, he believes, are an easy way to tackle the lingering security problems being faced in many parts of the country.
Prejudice and light of the past can help us towards a better Nigeria. We have a real and hard work ahead.
As respected members of the society, he stressed, religious leaders have a key role to play in educating citizens on their responsibilities and roles in nation building. Governor Abdullah Umar Ganduje and his Jigawa state counterpart Muhammad Badur Abubakar joined the APC presidential candidate in giving assurance of all-inclusive leadership when the party gets elected in the forthcoming general elections. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, has promised to harness the vast land in the northern part of Nigeria to solve problems of poverty and insecurity if elected president in the February election. Obi was sharing his thoughts at a town hall meeting organized for women leaders of the party in Abuja. Ekene Ndule brings us details.
The women are from different states in the country, including the FCT. They believe theirs could be the tipping hand in the coming election.
What is the weight of Nigeria that you are carrying?
And they are keen to make the most of it. Peter Obi enters from the east with ideas from the west, but with the north in mind. Tackling poverty, insecurity and other sundry issues is not far from the table.
Our job is to secure and unite the country. You need to ensure that there's rule of law, there's law and order. We say we must move the country from consumption to production. That is the only way we can create jobs.
In the new Nigeria under the Obi Dati administration, there will be an increase in national health insurance to ensure that poorest Nigerians are covered, including pregnant women and people living with disability.
The women welcomed these concepts and promised to put their votes where their hearts belong.
We must get the Nigeria that we all want, the Nigeria that our children will be proud of, the Nigeria where you don't need to beg anybody, the Nigeria where access to good quality education is there for everyone.
It is less than 2 months to the election, and the meeting afforded another opportunity for voter education. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulwe, NTA News.
And away from politics now, President Muhammadu Buhari joins family and friends of Professor Bolaji Akinyemi in celebrating his 81st birthday, rejoicing with the former Minister of External Affairs on many years of impactful service to the nation. President Buhari lauds the scholar and administrator for his patriotism and visionary leadership, which shaped the country's foreign policy and increased influence in Africa and across the globe, particularly the creation of the Technical Aid Corps that shared professional skills with other nations. As the former Director General of the Nigerian Institute for International Affairs celebrates, President Buhari affirms his relevance and influence in the country's historic transitions, reforms and growth, appreciating his voice of wisdom and knowledge, which continues to guide leaders. Again, Nigerian pilgrims are in Jordan and Jerusalem to join the rest of the global Christian community to perform the 2022 pilgrimage to the Holy Land, with about 280 faithful recently airlifted from Yola. Adeniyi Taiwo takes a look at the promises of the holy journey to both the participants and the nation.
These are some of the pictures already emerging from Jerusalem, where Christian pilgrims who departed Nigeria on Tuesday, December 27, are currently settling down to perform this year's pilgrimage to the Holy Land of Israel and Jordan. Out of a total of 10,000 pilgrims scheduled to go on the trip this year, the first batch of 300 departed Akanu Ibiam Airport, Enugu on December 16, while the 280 airlifted from Yola International Airport make up the second batch. Apostle Abiodun Soyalu is not on the pilgrimage this year, but After about 22 pilgrimages to the Holy Land, the former chairman of the State Christian Pilgrims Board still have reminiscences of the dietary culture and others.
As we land into it, they will bring vehicles that will take us. Once you pay your money here, in fact, if you don't have one day with him, you will still accomplish that trip.
The opportunity to walk, touch, and get a feel of where the Lord Jesus and other notable characters in the Bible had their earthly ministry is one that Pastor Wole Sumo will cherish for a long time to come.
I must confess that the experience at the Wailing Wall was something that I will remember for a long time, because I asked specifically for a prayer point, and before I returned, I received the answer. That's why I'll always refer to that Wailing Wall experience.
When we do the morning devotion and we do the evening devotion, after praying for individuals, we pray for our state, we pray for our country.
So far in 2022, no pilgrim has absconded. The happy executive secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission, Reverend Yakubu Pam, says the commission is offering pilgrims the best of logistic support. More thrilling for the pilgrims this year is an opportunity to explore holy sites in Jordan, even as the commission works towards including Turkey as part of the pilgrimage in the future.
They are taken into some special places that had to do with the Jordanian too themselves, which they felt that this time around they need to show them a little bit of their own culture.
The commission was established in 2007 to provide smooth airlifting of pilgrims to holy sites, as well as ensure enhanced welfare for them. In Lagos, Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
Many thanks, Adeniyi. We talked about the budget earlier, but Adeola in Lagos has more reactions to the 2023 budget. Adeola, it's over to you.
Thank you, Iyare. Financial experts have described the 2023 budget estimate of 21.8 trillion naira signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari as a realistic figure that will capture more infrastructure development and promote the sustainability of a viable economy if judiciously implemented. Abolade Salami reports.
The signing of the 2023 budget into law by President Muhammadu Buhari is in keeping with the commitments of the current administration to begin a fiscal year with the implementation of a new budget. The budget makes a 6.5 trillion naira provision for debt servicing, while the current expenditure non-debt will go up 8.3 trillion naira, leaving 5.9 trillion naira as capital expenditure. The figure, financial experts say, will help promote fiscal sustainability, macroeconomic growth, and economic development.
It has also maintained that robust division between the recurrent and the capital expenditure. So we've moved away apparently totally from those years of 80-20, 70-30 for capital expenditure. So it's a good place to be.
On the realization of the budget assumptions, the same attention must be directed to growing the country's revenue base with a view to cut down on borrowing.
I think we should commit more to fiscal consolidation. That is boosting revenue and reducing expenditure. But the good thing is that, we also have seen the Finance Bill 2022. There are quite a number of interesting provisions in that bill.
Need to concession some commercially viable infrastructure to private sector investors to build those infrastructure exclusively with their resources, and then toll them and recover their money from tolls and other ancillary income. The capital investment will largely be for social infrastructure that does not have commercial value.
Key players in the financial market also expressed optimism on the full implementation of the budget to encourage development across the country. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Let's talk health. HIV remains a serious health challenge in Nigeria, with new infections more prevalent among the productive age bracket. In this report, Hinkino John Adams tells us how the federal government is strategizing towards eradicating the disease.
There is a global move to end HIV by 2030, and Nigeria is building a strong force to meet the target. With the 2018 disturbing figure by the Nigeria HIV and AIDS Indicator and Impact Survey, which reveals that 41% of new cases occur among young people aged 15 to 24, the federal government, through the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, USAID, Mosaic Project, and other partners, recently launched Gen N, which means Generation Negative, a 5-year plan.
The campaign will develop a dashboard that will make the present coverage and gaps available at a glance, and we'll work together to cover the gaps.
They say HIV does not show on the face. They know they show on the face. So that means if people don't test, people will definitely not know their status. So we want to use that to drive young persons to talk to themselves as pair about being negative, or those who are not infected, or those who are infected to be identified early.
NACA, as the apex HIV control agency in the country, is faced with the task of building a movement fueled by the country's 43.2 million youths to enhance HIV prevention, treatment, and care services by adolescents and young people to meet the 2030 target.
We need to work together as a global health community. Also, the eradication of that stigma that surrounds HIV or any HIV-related situation.
Get the message out there so that people can reduce other risky behaviors or be privy to services that might prevent them from either getting the virus or spreading the virus.
Identifying key players that will remove barriers of accessing care and encouraging youths to adopt healthy behavior are important. In Lagos, Hingino John Adams, NTA News.
And those are the stories from Lagos. Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Let's take some messages. The news continues shortly. To stay.
Recharge. No data, no wahala. Buy, share, give, and manage your data on *777# and enjoy amazing rewards and so much more. Dial *777#.
Flow Unlimited.
People they say, the people they shout. We want all our country people they talk with one voice. Them say na Asiwaju Bola Tinubu them want as president of Nigeria for this president election. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu na the man wey we all know and see all the good work in they do for the country, especially when in the governor of Lagos State. Now him God use turn Lagos to the best state for Nigeria. Today, many people all over Nigeria they like to go Lagos, go settle down for business and better life. And because of the good work when Bola Tinubu do, people of Nigeria, as Asiwaju do for Lagos, now so him ready to do am for the whole country. Vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu for president of Nigeria. Vote Kashim Shettima as vice president. Vote APC, the party wey get broom.
Come to the National Center for Women Development, a home away from home. With our beautifully renovated hotel, the center can also boast of a 1,700-seater auditorium for conferences. The edifice has an African, continental, and Arabian restaurants, a daycare creche for nursing mothers. There is also an ICT department for computer training, and also a training department for catering, tailoring, and hairdressing. For more information, please contact the National Center for Women Development, Tafab Way, opposite the Central Bank of Nigeria's CBN headquarters, Central District Area, Abuja, or telephone 070-511-1163. National Center for Women Development, rebranding, restructuring, and repositioning.
Nigeria, African beauty on the Gulf of Guinea, blessed with natural landmarks and wildlife reserves. Nigeria, largest economy in Africa. Nigeria, famous accomplishment in entertainment and sports. Nigeria, resourced with globally respected human capital. Our uniqueness lies in our tenacity, our acumen, a testament of success. At NTA, we are forever proud to be the showcase channel of this positive energy and the reflection of the good in our nation. The capacity to tell our nation's story would not have been possible without the support and patronage of the three arms of government: ministries, departments, agencies, corporate bodies, advertisers, religious bodies, civil society groups, political parties, and of course you, our esteemed viewers. As we wish you a prosperous new year, let's get set to make 2023 even greater together.
Do not like overconfident women.
Don't touch me without my permission.
I'm a playful guy and I do get carried away sometimes.
You are selfish, manipulative, and you are a narcissist.
All I've done for you.
What have you done for me? Don't be embarrassed.
You know my mom doesn't know any better, right?
You say that now, but then when you see your mother, you start to act like you're a dead back dog. You were supposed to be more careful.
I've been.
Clearly not enough.
The Mberi dynasty of Nzeneri Imoweri, Isunjaba of Isu local government area of Imo State, announces the funeral program of their matriarch Ezinne Eziada Juliana Nwabari Mberi Ni Obiefule as follows. Tuesday, 3rd January 2023, Christian wake and service of songs at Mberi's compound Nzeneri Imoweri, Imo State by 6 p.m. Wednesday, 4th January, body leaves the Federal Medical Center FMC Oweri Mortuary to her hometown Nzeneri Imoweri, Isunjaba by 6 a.m. Requiem Mass, St. Joseph's Catholic Church, Isunjaba by 10 a.m. Interment, Mberi Family Compound. Reception follows immediately at National Primary School, Imoweri, Isunjaba. Sunday, 8th January, Thanksgiving service at Sacred Heart Catholic Church, Imoweri, Isunjaba by 10 a.m. is survived by Mazi Geoffrey Mberi, son, Dr. Maurice Mberi, son, Permanent Secretary, General Service Office, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Mrs. Rosetta Ihezwo, daughter. Marcelinus Okichukwu Mberi, son. Mrs. Chinyere Iwuchukwu, daughter. Mr. Victor Anayo Mberi, son. Brothers and sister, in-laws, friends and sympathizers. Announcer Mazi Geoffrey Mberi for the family.
Glad to have you back. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has charged the Federal Road Safety Corps to consolidate on its successes towards achieving the mandate of eradicating road crashes in the country. This was during the decoration of Dauda Abiu as the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps. Oyemi Ajayi has details.
This is one of the numerous show of honor, respect and allegiance of loyalty to the new Corps Marshal Dauda Abiu, who becomes the second career officer to rise through the ranks to become the #1 officer of the Corps. Ahead of him lies many tasks and targets to meet with the primary aim of ensuring zero road crashes on the Nigerian roads. Staring him at the face is the 2023 general election, in which the FRSC stands as a major player.
Then we also have a fleet of vehicles that we use to assist INEC to deploy their equipment and ballot papers. Then we also participate in training drivers of NURTW and other unions who are usually engaged by INEC to work for them. So we train them, we certify their vehicles before those vehicles are even allowed to participate in the election process.
From the government, a lot is expected from the Corps Marshal, most especially meeting up with zero road crashes in the country.
So much has been done under the able leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari to ensure that our roads are safe and that we reduce the high rate of carnage on our roads.
We are immensely grateful to Mr. President for appointing our own, not from outside, but from within the Corps.
To hit the ground running, the Corps Marshal is coming up with a roadmap which will capture major areas of concern towards effective road safety management in the country. The people are waiting. Oyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
It's time to talk business. The Debt Management Office, DMO, has announced its first bonds issuance for 2023, which consists of 2 federal government of Nigeria savings bonds for subscription. The DMO says one is a 2-year savings bond due in January 11, 2025 at the interest rate of 9.600% per annum. The other is 3-year savings bond due in January 11, 2026 at the interest rate of 10.600% per annum. The opening date is January 3rd, while the closing date will be January 6 and settlement date January 11, while coupon payment dates will be April 11, July 11, October 11, and January 11. They are offered at 1,000 naira per unit, subject to a minimum subscription of 5,000 naira and in multiples of 1,000 naira thereafter, subject to a maximum subscription of 50 million naira. Taking a look at the markets, Nigeria's equities market opened in the year 2023 on a positive note, rising by 0.67% on the first trading day of the year. At the end of today's trading session, a total of 129.1 million shares in 4,121 deals, corresponding to a market value of 2.039 million, were traded. Compared with the previous trading day, Friday, December 30th, today's data shows 85% decline in volume, 72% decline in turnover, but 16% improvement in deals. The current market capitalization is 28.1 trillion naira. FBN Holdings recorded the highest volume of 15.1 million traded shares, followed by Guarantee Trust 13.8 million, ICO Insurance 12.2 million, and United Bank for Africa 8.15 million. Well, that is business news. Network news continues after this break.
The families of Omumbiko of Umudioka village and Anene of Umubu village, both in Oka, Anambra State, announced the passing on to glory of our inestimable jewel, a dearly beloved wife, mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, cousin and auntie, Lady Margaret Omumbiko, aged 85 years. Burial arrangements. Thursday, 5th January 2023, service of songs at her compound, 8 Ezudu Street, Akoheli Square, Umudioka, Oka. Friday, 6th January, 7 a.m., great flying in state at her compound. 10 a.m., burial service at Our Saviour's Church, Emmaus House Complex, Arthur's Road, Oka. Interment follows at her compound. Saturday, 7th January 2023, funeral ceremony. Condolence visits continue. Sunday, 8th January 2023, outing service at Our Saviour's Church, Oka. Payment of condolences continue. Announcer, Chief Charles Nandi Omumbiko for the family.
Who sang the popular hit song Bumper to Bumper?
One they call. Oh, do you know with GoTV you can enjoy the best of local and international shows? That's festive. Really? Makes sense. Really? Something the ball. Yeah. My food, your food.
Shey you feel am? Yes. Bro, pay for any package this festive and GoTV go grade you to a higher package. Wow.
For this festive season, everybody go shine well oh, because na bumper time we dey. Renew your subscription and get upgraded to a higher package. Dial star 288 hash to enjoy. Na better entertainment wey sure pass. GoTV, love it.
Let's have a bit of sports now.
C'est sûr que la construction n'est pas forcément la plus belle, mais c'est derrière la conclusion qui est splendide. Contrôle de la cuisse, enchaîne.
Former Super Eagles assistant coach Sylvanus Okpala has cautioned handlers of the national team and Nigerian Football Federation against luring players, especially foreign-based, to play for the national team if the Eagles are to return to glorious days. Perfect mixture of home-based and foreign players is a solution to challenges facing the team, as experienced during the era of late Stephen Keshi as coach of the team. And from the English Premier League, Arsenal will have another opportunity tonight to extend their lead points with a date with Newcastle United. Leicester City will welcome Fulham, while Everton will attempt to better their league standing against Brighton and Hove Albion. Manchester United must not sleep in the match against Bournemouth to maintain top 4. In another news, there are indications that World Football Governing Body FIFA will ask Nigeria and other countries of the world to name a stadium each after the late Brazilian football legend Pelé, who inspired Brazil to emerge 3-time world champions, as tributes and burial rites of the late soccer icon is at its peak at a vertical cemetery in Santos after a private funeral with wife and restricted persons in attendance. With sports update, Olunde Kuntola, NTA News.
With sports done, let's have a quick peep at the weather outlook for Wednesday.
So happy New Year and hope you're having a great start into the new year. Most parts of the northern region are reporting very poor visibility. Places like Kanu, Gusau, and Dutse having 600 meters, Nguru 800 meters, Katsina 700 meters, Bida, Ilorin 1,000 meters, and Abuja 1,200 meters. For Wednesday, with a fresh dust plume from the source region expected to propagate into the country, the northern region should experience a deteriorated horizontal visibility in thick dust haze, while the rest of the country should experience moderate dust haze with localized visibility of 1,000 meters or less. Due to more dust expected over the country, the north and the north-central region of the country should experience very unhealthy air quality, as represented by the purple coloration on this air quality index map, while the southern parts of the country are expected to be unhealthy throughout Wednesday. I'm Theodora Itum. Thank you for watching.
Many thanks, Theodora, for that update. And that concludes NTA Network News tonight. Many thanks for watching. It is a new year, but the fight against rape and rapists remains. Do the needful. I'm Ian Ray John. Have a good night.